Whether you're a student nurse or a new grad nurse, there may come a time where you find yourself having to work from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And if you've never worked a night shift before, your body may have a hard time adjusting to the graveyard shift. If it seems like you're always tired, here's some tips I use to help me adjust to the night shift. When I was a new grad nurse, I had never worked a night shift before. My mom had told me stories about people falling asleep behind the wheel, and they had always scared me. When I was a student, I was completely on days, and even when I worked as a nurse aide, I was working all day shifts. And so I had never worked a night shift, so my first few, I was falling asleep at 3 a.m. I couldn't really take good care of my patients if I myself was feeling tired and not really up to it. You learn a few tricks when you keep working nights, and you'll definitely learn really early on if it's for you or if it's not. So now I'm going to share some tips with you that help me learn how to survive the night shift. So the first thing that I like to do when I get ready for night shifts is after I get up out of bed, I'll usually wash my face with cold water, brush my teeth, and go head downstairs and have something cold such as an iced coffee or maybe an iced cup of water. I usually wake up at about 4 p.m. so that I have enough time to cook my dinner and just relax before I get into work so that I don't feel too rushed. Usually I'll make something with vegetables and a simple protein, and I'll take the leftovers from that and also eat it at work. I do this so that I don't crash because I find that when I snack on some things, then usually I'll have a sugar crash and I'll feel sleepy for the rest of my shift. Something I like to do when possible on my night shifts is that I like to stack my shifts 3 in a row, and this is so that I have a longer weekend, that I sleep really well, and I'm not trying to convert into a day shifter in between my shifts. If I only work 2 nights and then I have a day off in between, then I try to live life like a normal person in that in-between shift, and then it's really hard for me to sleep again for my 3rd shift. When I'm at work, I like to be sipping on something. So lately, my go-to has been just bringing this big jug of water and sipping on water. And there's 2 fold parts to it. The first part is that I'm always drinking water, so I'm always awake. 2, the other part is I always have to walk and get up and go to the bathroom, which is also kind of waking me up, getting me out of my chair, making me move my muscles. I also will drink coffee, and I'll switch off between rain and coffee as well. If all else fails, then I'll usually pace around right in front of my patient's room and also take the time to stretch. And during my long break, I'll take a nap. I usually like to take a nap either in the break room, or they've converted visitor lounges into respite rooms that you can sleep in. Now, for the ride home, I usually listen to the same things. It's usually a podcast or a book, and that's because when I listen to music, I like to listen to the same songs, and so because I'm very familiar with them, I'm not really paying attention to them as much. Whereas if I'm listening to podcasts or if I'm reading a book, there's something new that I'm learning, so I'm very engaged in that. And so I like to use Audible if I'm reading a new book. I'm always looking up new podcasts. I'll list some of my favorite podcasts up above. And also, if these are kind of expensive for you to get Audible or subscription, if you go through the Los Angeles Public Library, you can go ahead and download their app. It's called Libby, and you can actually rent out ebooks from them. And I absolutely love that because sometimes there's ebooks there that you don't have to pay for, like Audible, and it's already there and ready to go for you. Okay, this tip, I'm gonna admit, it's gonna sound crazy and it's not for everyone, but I like to work out at the end of my shifts, and this is so that I sleep better and I can fall asleep easier. So after my night shift, I'll go and I'll hit the gym, I'll work out, and then I'll come home, take a shower, and then go to bed, and I'll feel really good the next morning because I feel like I was really tired. Something that helps me sleep when I get off of work are blackout curtains. I cannot sleep with any light in my room, so I definitely like darker shade curtains. You can see that mine here aren't even completely black, they're brown, but they do the trick for me. Another thing that I like to do is I either like to diffuse some lavender or I like to put on some lavender lotion before bed. It's very calming for me. The third thing that I like to do, if possible, is I like to either listen to Headspace or kind of just go through highs and lows for the day. And if that doesn't work, then sometimes I will take some melatonin, but it's really rare for me to have to take melatonin. I sleep very well on night shift without it, so I don't usually take it. My suggestion is that if you do decide to flip over to nights, is that you do them kind of consecutively. Try not to flip day shift one week, night shift another week, or do that, because your body will never acclimate one way or another. So you won't really know if you like nights or if you just don't like it because you're flip-flopping and you're not really getting enough sleep. All right, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much, guys. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.